A big problem that coaches experience, which is clarifying your coaching package or your offer and message specifically. Because you guys, everyone I work with, they always know, thankfully, that they've got a value to offer. And they always know that they have talent or skills or a service that's really valuable to offer people. But the problem is it's not like a table, and it's not like I don't know, like a dining set, or it feels intangible because it's kind of within you. It's your service. It's soft skills. It's inside of you, right? It's not so easy to define. And now this isn't the only reason, or I believe the main reason why coaches and consultants and service providers struggle to sell their packages. A lot of coaches and consultants feel that this is a problem because, I mean, if you can't even define what it is you're doing or put it into a box, how do you sell it? It feels like a very fundamental step. What I'm going to ask for our lovely audience who are watching me on the Zoom as well, if you would be a doll and also go onto the Facebook Live and watch that live as well, just stick it on silent, have it in the background, because we like to have those extra views as well. We are really trying to expand our reach, grow our watch time, have minutes go up, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to take rebellious business really big. So give me some likes, shares, and comment. Yeah, everyone comment below saying, I'm here, I want to clarify my coaching package. And if you're watching on the replay, #replay. Also, if you're not already liking the business page, which is Cordelia Kate, the Rebellious Business Coach, go over and like that and follow it as well. That's another thing. We are on a mission to monetize that page, and we're doing really well with the watch minutes and the watch time, which is amazing considering we only started to really focusing on that this year. But we do need more followers. We need to get that up to 5,000. So now we are incentivizing and prioritizing people to do that. So once you do that, I'll hold this against you. I will then give you the secrets. I won't do it until you comply with what I tell you to do. That's not true. I have no way of testing or measuring that. So I'm just going to have to pursue your good souls, and I will just get into the goods anyway. So I'm also going to stop watching the live because it distracts me. I have been coaching. I actually started working with in message clarification in 2017, most likely. No, not most likely. I started working with business owners on messaging and clarity in 2017. It was affiliate marketers specifically, but they were selling, they were predominantly promoting courses and coaching training, and they also had the same problem. So it's not a problem that's just specifically for coaches. It's kind of a problem of definition for anyone who is providing a service or a thing that doesn't feel very thingy. And in 2017, it was kind of easy to get sales, if I'm honest. It was kind of not necessarily the rise of YouTube. We'd well gone past that, but it was easier, a lot easier to get sales online than now. A lot of that, I imagine, was to do with being in lockdown for years and everyone moving to working online. Regardless if you're a digital, an online business owner, or if you are an employee, everyone moved online. And so what that meant was the space was there was an influx. So prior, when I started, it was a lot easier to stand out with minimal. So you could get away with being fluffy. You could get away with not being able to necessarily define what you're doing, because by virtue of you being online and by virtue of you promoting yourself, you stood out. And coaches and especially coaching, it was a hot thing. It was like, oh, this is a new thing. And especially when I was I was in a sort of spiritual, well, it wasn't really spiritual, but there was like a holistic spiritual sort of it feels a bit culty actually, but it was definitely there was a need for people to really improve themselves, and that was kind of what was available at the time. But what happened was then everyone moved online, everyone wanted to learn, and everyone is online now. So you being online and providing online products is no longer a novelty. Everyone does it. It's like, and I actually know people that are like working 3 jobs while like they don't know about each other. They're just working 3 jobs separately. So what's happened is everyone's gone online. The competition has gone up drastically. Also, I know this might sound a bit controversial, but I have seen this with my own eyes. Borders have opened up where people from countries that are not necessarily as well paid are all online and all fighting for these jobs. And there are a lot of talented individuals out there who are prepared to do things like for a really cheap price, for a good standard as well. So this is a big thing that's happened. Plus, let's talk, we won't get too into like politics, but we all know that there was issues with the economy. There's lots of things going on. What essentially that amalgamation has resulted in is it's harder than ever at the moment to make sales as a coach or consultant as well. Last thing on that one, particularly if you are in I guess what I would call a superfluous industry, or if you're providing a superfluous role, meaning if your role isn't essential, you're gonna struggle even more, because and a lot of coaches and consultants, they're kind of like, they're bolt-on. I don't know those technical words. I'm sure we've got Doug Bennett who probably knows all the words. These are financial guru. Probably even John, you know everything. What was the word I was looking for? So where you've got something that isn't essential, when the markets are difficult, essential services are the things that thrive a lot easier, because people need those. So they will make compromises on the things that aren't necessary, and they will focus in on what's essential. And at the moment, essential things are expensive. Wow, this is a doom and gloom chat. Do you know what I'm talking about, Doug? Is there a definition for that?
Yeah, there's non-essentials.
Just non-essentials.
Non-essential items. Let's go with that. Let's keep it simple.
Not being prioritized. So everything's more expensive. I don't know if anyone else feels like their Tesco shop, if you're shopping at Tesco's or wherever, has gone up. And I can see that we have Wendy on the call, and she's definitely not in England. Actually, we've got a lot of people on the call who aren't from England, but our grocery shopping has gone up. So if your grocery has gone up, if your grocery costs have gone up, let me know in the comments. So yeah, I'm part of everyone who is having expensive shopping bills at the moment. That's an indication of your essentials being more expensive. Therefore, non-essentials, as John nicely pointed out, are harder to sell than ever. So what this boils back to is we're in a climate where the competition is high, the demand is low, and also there's no novelty anymore with coaching and consulting. Now, this sounds very doom and gloom. And when I couple that into the fact that the problem of messaging clarity has been around when we were in a market upswing, and when it was a novelty and it was a new thing, it was fresh, competition was low and demand was high, people were still struggling with their messaging, it paints a bit of a dismal picture. Well, it's not all that bad. The reason being is you can clarify it pretty easily. Now, I remember thinking back then, I was like, this can't work, because people are just selling fluff and I have no idea what they're selling and how are they making money from this as well. Like maybe they've got that value, but I can't see it. And I actually started developing a copywriting process, a structure that in it made people talk about the value that they were providing as the priority. Because what I figured out is everything is all fluff. It's hypnotic writing. It's persuasive. It's imaginative. It's creative. I was like, it's not real. It's not. There's no substance there. And so I was like, what you need to start with when you're writing is the substance. Because to start with, you need to know that your product speaks for itself. And that's what you need to aim for. You need to aim for your product speaking for itself. So the way that you do that is you clarify the substance and you speak into the substance first, and then you develop all the other stuff afterwards. So this is something that's really important, because this call is only going to help you if you have substance. If you don't have substance, I am not going to teach you how to sell bullshit, basically. To be honest, I'm not very good at that. I'm one of those people. We played a game, what was it called the other day? A chameleon the other day. And you have to you have to lie to win, basically. And you have to try and guess things. And I was the chameleon, so I had to lie. And I thought the country that everyone was talking about, you have to kind of guess what the country is. I thought the country that everyone was talking about was Italy. Because my sister said Joey, and I thought Joey from Friends, and we go around, and then I said, I can't remember what I said. I think I said like pastrami or something Italian. And my brother-in-law, and now it's like, obviously I've figured out after everyone said their things, they said Australian things. The country was Australia, and I said whatever it was. I was like, you have to lie, and you have to pretend like, oh yeah, no, I said, here's my strategy for saying this weird thing. Whatever it is. And my brother-in-law went to me, why do you think he's Italy? I was like, because Vanessa said that it was Joey. So then I gave myself away straight away. I'm not the type of person, basically, to bring that story to an end, who's able to lie. It makes me itchy and weird. I can't do it. So I don't got a hand up in the air from John, who also says lying makes me feel itchy and weird. This is a good admission. Anyone else, if lying makes you feel itchy and weird, let us know. Let me know in the comments. How does lying make you feel? If you are the type of person that lying does nothing to you, you just it's like, I can do it. This call's not going to help you, because I can't improve your lying skills. I've got a lot on my own to do. What I am going to do is help what I believe is the only way to really succeed in this market. Put lying out of the window, and that's for the cream to float to the top. I think that's the right expression. That you have to discern yourself. You have to just differentiate your value. That's it. That's all you have to do. You have to differentiate your value. Oh, John says, my top 3 values are love, honesty, and freedom. I love that. And welcome onto the call for anyone else who's joined. We've got Michaela and Julie, who've also joined as well. And I know Wendy joined also. So I love to do a little bit of a preamble, a bit of theory in there, a little bit of my my speculation as what's going on, get everyone warmed up. Next, what I would like to talk about is what everyone is trying to sell but failing to sell. And that is the discovery calls. Everyone's trying to sell a discovery call. Did you put your hand up, Julie? Because okay, cool. So I clicked onto the Facebook link, which is terrible because now I get distracted by those numbers. I'm like, but okay, we're going to talk about the discovery call. Which I need that in big writing, really. We need to start doing some banners. The discovery call. Discovery calls have been around since, at least I got into this industry. Now, listen, I'm hardly a veteran. I've been doing this for 6 years, right? It's not really a veteran, but in terms of the digital landscape, it's quite long. Discovery calls were a thing then. And I was amazed that they were getting booked back then, but they are sure as hell not getting booked right now. If anyone else feels like they are not having their discovery calls booked, leave a comment in the the comment section. That'll do. We're going to address this specifically because here's the thing. This is the way that this focus on this call is going to be value led. Everything is going to be customer first. And when you have a clear value to add, because you're not lying, because it makes it itchy and weird. You have a clear value to add and you want to provide a service, you offer a discovery call to get people on a call with you. I don't really know what you're supposed to do on a discovery call, if I'm honest. I never got that. Are you discovering each other? Is this, hey, we've discovered each other, like, let's celebrate that? Are you, what are you discovering? I think it was like, it's supposed to mean we clarify our compatibility, I think. But the thing is, people don't really care about that. They don't really care whether you're a compatible coach for them or not. They don't really care that you've discovered them. It basically, what I'm trying to say is, it's not meaty enough for someone to pick that off the shelf. No one wants to pick a discovery call off the shelf at the moment, and it's free. So you think, God, like, I can't even sell a free discovery call. How am I going to make a business out of this? How am I going to get one-to-one sales? Well, that's because we're going to flip the script on discovery calls specifically today. Now, what I've got to assume with this call, and I've only got this call to go over this, is that you have already got a package to offer. You've got, let's say, the standard 12-week one-to-one high ticket program where you will facilitate and support someone going through a transformation. They will go from A to B. And it'll be a transformation. And that's a really big word, actually. That's important, because the what we're going to do on the discovery calls, how we're going to amend that, is by extracting value from the transformation we're providing, because we've got to do value-led all throughout the customer journey. So what we've got to do is we've got to turn the discovery call into something that's value-led and something that someone will pick up off the shelf. So there's 3 things that your discovery call needs to be, and we're going to change how it's marketed. Okay. The discovery call for substance. Yeah, Doug asked if it's free. Yes, the discovery call is free. Essentially, right. So this is just a standard template. You've got your discovery call, which is free, and then the sale. And it's the most basic steps. But I have actually one of my clients, I worked with them, and we made it £20 for 20 minutes. So, and that was quite good, actually. However, interestingly enough, it was kind of bad, because then it didn't really make sense that they were spending thousands to work with her. So we had to sort of like categorize it in a specific way, where it was like, it was an introduction, essentially. But yeah, like I guess we call it a tripwire. It's a lead magnet. It gets your prospects on the door, these discovery calls. So that's a really important differentiation. It has to attract them. So if everyone's offering a discovery call, no one might as well offer one. What you are going to offer instead is a quick fix, value-led call for free, which is going to be solving a problem for them on that call. You're going to be solving a problem for them. You're not going to be providing a transformation, because that takes time. You're going to be solving a problem for them immediately. So, and how we structure that is, it needs to be 3 things in order to get any bites. All right. So we can get into the messaging stuff later, but in order to get any bites on your quick fix calls, I would say, is at the A. They have to be niched, and we're going to go through this. The process that I'm taking you through now is a process of niching, so don't worry too much about that. I don't like that. It needs to niche. For me, it just means specific about your value, because everyone is niched. Everyone has a niche. It's not about like choosing a niche or picking a niche. It's about going, what is your niche? We got to figure this out, and that's a process of development. You just develop the message enough and the niche just comes out. But you have to make yourself, you have to niche, you have to be niched in a relevant market as well. So the next thing is, there has to be demand for that, right? you have to, like, and not just in terms of the quick fix, you want your package, there has to be a demand for your package. So your package needs to be niched enough that it's specific and detailed. You just have to be specific and detailed. That is basically niche. And now to caveat that, it's demand, because you could be specific and detailed about, well, any old thing, but doesn't mean anyone's going to want it. So there has to be demand. That's how these two balance each other out. So a lot of people, but like, trust me, things that are not niched and are fluffy are not in demand. So you want to make sure someone wants it. And the way to discern and to figure out if your package is in demand or if your value is in demand is, I had this in my head and it's just gone. Oh, you can justify it, right? You need to justify what goes where. You need to justify what niche goes where. So I wonder if I can give an example. Okay, yeah. So for an example, right, I'm niched into the coaching and consulting. Those are my avatars, let's just say, coaches and consultants, and I teach messaging skills. How do I justify that I'm niched for that? I know that I teach messaging clarity, and I know that I work with coaches predominantly. Where's the justification that I can't, this is relevant for coaches and not for someone else? The reason is because I know that a coach has a specific problem, which is communicating a message on a service. It's not physical. So I've justified why my niche applies to my audience. My skill applies to my audience because I clarify. And I've got a testimonial, I was going through them yesterday. I crystallize what is inside of you, which means, so I'm making something intangible feel tangible. That applies not just to coaches, but it's a great message to coaches. I can work with, if I flick my hair, I can work with anyone. But I specifically work with coaches. That's where I just found myself, and I honed in on that. So that's how you figure out. You make sure that you're detailed and specific. So I had detail and specificism there. I work with coaches and consultants, helping them refine their messaging because they feel like they are fluffy and tangible and are struggling to make sales or get people on discovery calls. That's detailed, it's specific. It is in demand. I know that because we've got people on the Facebook as well. Last time I looked, there was 20 watching, and I'm not going to check that. Don't want to know. It'll make me freak out if it's more. It'll make me freak out if it's less. So the detail is specificism because I thought through things, and also there is demand for that, and they'll know there's demand for it because I've justified why someone in that category wants to work with me or why that skill is valuable to them specifically. So that's justification. Now, the next thing that you really need to get into is what I heard this the other day. I've never heard it use this, so maybe I'll use this wrong, but it was perfect. It's called generative value. So it's a thing that generates value. So a discovery call does not generate value. It ascertains if there's value, and that means that the only person gaining anything is the coach delivering that discovery call. You are figuring out if you can make a sale. It's making value for you. It's not creating value for the other person, really. I mean, you could argue that you're figuring out both your compatibility, but again, it's not really. So generative value, your quick fix call needs to, I've got Doug saying 20 seconds. Oh, Doug, why did you do that? It freaked me out. All right, so your quick fix call, basically, it needs to be niche. Don't freak out about that. We're going to go through some steps to niche it in a second. It needs to be in demand. You find that out because you figure out if you are justifying. You can justify the reasons why someone you can niche that way. And it has to be generative. You have to figure out a value to provide for free. Now, bear in mind as well, if you're a successful coach already and you're getting 50 sales calls booked a week and you're booked out, you don't have to do this, okay? Like, you can sell a discovery call. If people are picking up your discovery call from the shelf, you're fine, don't worry about it. But if people aren't picking up your discovery call from the shelf, this is something you need to focus on. Generative value, quick fix calls. And by the way, what you notice is this is all about messaging and clarifying. But what I'm doing is really, I'm taking you through a process of substantiation, or substantiating. One, two. I'm helping you crystallize and make solid your value and like pull it out. I'm not helping you sell something I'm not teaching you sales tactics here. I'm teaching you like product development. And then once you develop your product, it speaks for itself. There are products that just don't need to be sold because they are in demand, people know about them. That's kind of all you need to get, right? Like as a starting point, that's the easiest one. You've got no sales skills, you've got no marketing skills, you haven't got a big social media audience, the tech stuff drives you mad. The best strategy is to create a package because you're coaching, because you've got value to add. Create a package that the value speaks for itself. And then you just have to tell people about it. You don't even need, like that for me, I never understood people. I was called a copywriter before I kind of claimed that I was one, or a messaging strategist. And I was like, I'm just pointing out the obvious. Why is no one talking about the package? You pick a good product. So I was doing affiliate marketing at the time, and I did quite well with the adverts, and I started helping other people with the adverts, and they were like, wow, this is genius. I'm like, I'm just saying what it is. I don't actually ever feel like I really refined my copywriting skill, because I just told people to say it like it is. That was going to be one of my strap lines at one point, but I don't think anyone really cared enough. They didn't really want that. Anyway, so I digress. We've got the quick fix, value-led free call, and you're going to substantiate your value. So that is it. So next, let's get to my notes. Okay, here's some steps on how we do that. Step 1, okay? Look at your transformative package, okay? And you are going to, let me see what I've written down. Yeah, essentially, your quick fix call needs to be a kind of like a mini version of your transformation program. It needs to be like, not necessarily a mini version, and obviously there's ways to do this, but it basically. So for instance, I've got 2 coaches I can think of in mind. One of my coaches was a time management organization coach. She wanted to help her clients manage their time. And she said, what happened, interestingly enough, when we talk about, we've got above the ice and below the ice and all this stuff. What happened was, and she worked with women as well, she found that the time management stuff always led into relationship problems like that. She ended up like helping, it was more this transformation that she helped them achieve was to do with relationship problems and better communication skills in the end. And then she was able to help them implement systems. But she was like, every time I've worked with someone, because she was very organized, she had lots of systems. She had I can't even remember them, the delegate, distribute, all these systems for organization, I can't remember. And but she said what she ended up doing, and which she loved, was coaching women with their relationship problems, which means she felt like she was then a relationship coach. And it's like, no. They get on the call with you because they believe their real problem is time management. And then the relationship stuff comes out, and it came to do with the sort of emotional sort of situation where they didn't feel like they had time for their partner or something like that. So they felt like time management was the problem, but like really they just need to calm down. That was very dismissive, but more transformation over that. Anyway, what we spoke about in her quick fix call was you've got to extract the essence and provide, you've just got to prove that you can provide them the transformation they're looking for. And so I said, can you help them achieve some time management value in half an hour? So what can you do for them in half an hour? And she's like, I can show you them how to prioritize their tasks for the day. And we got down to the pain, the initial pain, not the long-lasting pain was something completely different. And it's like, we're not promoting that because they don't know that's the issue. They just get to that later on once they're going through the transformation. And all you coaches in here, you got to know the stuff that's deep inside that comes out later. So what's the stuff they think is the real problem? She's like, they feel like they get to the end of the day and all the important stuff isn't done, but they've been busy, right? That's one of the problems they get to. And now you can kind of, I could see Michaela, I hope I said that right. I've seen Michaela nodding. So yeah, I get that. Right. And so we've got these two concepts really. One is that this is what they're feeling on a day-to-day basis. But when you delve into that, there's a lot more emotional and organizational stuff that comes with that. So the quick fix we got down to was, here's what she was going to provide on a free call was how to prioritize your goal, what the right things to do in your day. In one day, we're going to pick out your day and see all the things you've got to do. You're going to list everything. I'll do this. And I'm really upset because I really want to work on this project and go through that. And then what she would do is she would help you prioritize that day so that by the end of the day, you got to the end of the day and you felt like, hey, maybe not everything's done, but I've got done the important stuff. That would be the quick fix you would offer. You wake up the next day and everything, poof, go back to normal. So it's got a value in of itself because there's an immediate win. You've got to think immediate benefit. In my launchable training, I talk about immediate benefit. It's a really good way to like ground into your message. You're not talking about the big why a lot of the time, just get into the immediate benefit. So by talking about the immediate benefit, you can offer a quick fix. So look at some of the processes that you offer in your transformational package. And I distinguish them between that now, transformational versus quick fix, because a transformation does take time. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes commitment. That is something where a value speaks for itself. You have to justify that value. Remember I was saying that if there's demand for it, you have to be able to justify it. You can justify it by by presenting a quick fix. But the quick fix is one of the processes that you find really, really valuable, or that you apply in your coaching package, your transformational package. You're going to put that into a quick fix to solve an immediate problem. So they get an immediate benefit, right? That's how you get people to pick your thing off the shelf. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to make sales, but what it does do is it starts putting value out into the world. And also it gives you an opportunity to see, do people even want this quick fix, right? Because if it's no longer like, oh, hey, by the way, I'm selling you this discovery call thing where we can discover how to change your life or whatever, which no one's going to pick up. If you're putting out something tangible, hey, I'm going to help you do this. I'm going to give you half an hour. I'm going to help you do this. In return, and this is a good way to sort of, because the suspicion alarms go off, right? Someone's like, why is someone giving me this free thing, right? Why are they doing that? Transparency is king. If you say, I'm giving you this free thing, in return, all I want to do is talk to you about a transformational package, which you are but in no obligation to buy. I just want to talk to you about it so that you can either see if it's right for you or you can recommend me to your friends. So what's interesting is just, you can see how where I'm saying it like it is quite appealing. Like that's like an appealing thing. It's like, okay, because there's no obligation for me. I don't have to be sat there while someone sells me this package and I have to go, let me check with my husband, or let me think about it. I don't know, because we just do not like saying no. We do not going, sorry, I just want the freebie. I'm sorry, thanks for your time. But you don't want them to feel like they are in debt to you because you've given them a freebie. You want to cancel that out. And what's interesting is, like I said, I'm just getting into the substance. I'm not even talking about like the deeper why or the avatar or any of this stuff. I'm just getting right into the grit of it, basically. So that's step one. You're going to simmer down. I think I may have gone through a few steps there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did go through a few steps. Right, so that's step one, is to kind of just do a deep dive into what you provide for your clients and clarify it as well. Rather than, okay, we've got a question in from Lynn. I will go through that soon. And also, sorry, I'm a little bit, I think my allergies or I'm getting a cold. I'm a bit snotty. First sip of coffee as well. So, step one, research into your own package, clarify that, crystallize it, really define it. You want to say define your processes, right? This is really, really important. What are your methodologies? What is your methodology? So if you are giving someone a long-term process, a long-term transformation, you surely should have some processes in there. Again, this is all about substance. If no one has substance, if you don't have substance in your package, it's not going to help you. This is about digging out the substance that you provide, or you've got. What is your process to help someone have a transformation? So I'd love to actually hear from other people. Stick it into the Facebook chat, into the group, and post in like, what are your processes that you do? Like, what kind of coach are you? What is your niche? What is your expertise? And what kind of processes do you use with your clients to facilitate transformations? Like, what is those steps? I'd really like to know. Steal them. No, I'm joking. I've got mine. I try and keep it very very basic. Okay, so I've got some, I'll come back to that soon, Lynn. So step one, just so we know, so clarify your processes and really get clear on the value, and really get clear with that. The next one is obviously distill that into a quick fix, which we did cover. So you're going to turn that into a 30-minute solution for them. Okay. And then the next step is, there's some promotions, right? Once you've got, so there's this sort of like the foundation, right? Step, like, you've got to get really into your own package and pull out the value of that and clarify that, and particularly look for processes. Step two is distill that into a 30-minute quick fix, a valuable process that can provide an immediate benefit right away. That's what you want to do. And step three is you want to use really simple promotion methods. Okay. I was kind of wondering, how do I get into the what the third step would be in this? Because, like, in terms of messaging, for me, the training I'm offering is really just say it like it is. Like, the way that makes it appealing is if it's substantial and valuable. So in order to improve your, oh God, my headphones are running out. Hopefully they'll last. In order to improve your messaging and not feel fuzzy, you have to define your product, and you define it by picking out the actual things and the value of it. So once you do that, the copy writes itself. It's very, very, like, whenever I know what someone is offering, I can, like, I think Doug is on the call. He can attest to that. He thinks I'm a bit of a weirdo, to be honest, because I'll be taking notes. I'll be like asking questions. I'm like, right, no, it's fine. I can write so much about it. It just writes itself because I dug into the value. I dug into all the details of it. That's how I do it, essentially. I don't really have any process. I guess maybe that would be the creative process. Like, I can't really tell you how I do that, except for that I'm always looking for value, and I'm trying to, and if there's an area where it's hazy, I just ask them, I just get clarity. I'm like, what does that mean? Give me all the details. I say, when someone gets on a call with me, I'm like, I am going to interrogate you. Sometimes sometimes it'll be a bit challenging, because I'm like, what does that mean? Give me what does it mean? And they're like, okay. But yeah, I'm quite like, get right in there. Once I know everything, then I can write it. It speaks for itself. So the third step I thought would be the most valuable is the promotion. So essentially, I'm going to boil this down to two things. Get a very simple copywriting formula. I'm gonna reel it off quickly right now. Relate, demonstrate, validate. That's my launchable copywriting formula. You relate to your prospect. You say, here's you want to get to the end of your day and feel like you've achieved something, rather than being busy all the time and getting nothing done. I'm offering you a value-led quick fix call where I will help you prioritize what is important to do for a single day in half an hour for free by clicking this link. Here's the link. You can book yourself into my calendar. My experience is, I'm an organizational coach and I've helped 50 people, blah, right? That is my relate, demonstrate, validate formula. You relate, you demonstrate value. Always, always, always demonstrate value. This is the thing, I never see this. Demonstrate is the most important part. demonstrate the value of what product you're offering, validate why you are in a position to offer this. That can be, so I don't have like this whole code thing where it's like, get them with a hook, then all these things, although that sounds a bit aggressive, if I'm honest. It's 3 steps, and your success stories or testimonials, they can fit in the validate section, just like your own anecdotes or whatever. So relate, demonstrate, validate, simple writing formula. The next step is simple promotional methods. We have BAFE methods. This is Cordelia's wheelhouse, not mine. I'm not the specialist on this by any means, but you don't need to have a raving social media presence. You don't need to have loads of tech set up. You don't need an advertising budget. You don't need a website. Stop building websites. You just need to construct your posts and put it out there. And if people aren't biting, there's an issue with the value that's being conveyed or that's present. That's it. Or there's no demand, as we said, no demand, and it's not relevant. So there's a few things wrong with it. But you're going to use, if you're in the Rebellious Business Network or on the page, I'm sure if you type in BAYF, you might find some of the BAFE trainings, BAYF. That's our BAFE, Build As You Fly, essentially. So we really teach, I guess it's straight to market strategies. We got straight to market copywriting strategies, straight to market marketing strategies for people that you don't have to be well equipped and a social media influencer. And yeah, so those are the 3 steps that I am recommending today. Have I got anything else there? Oh yeah, and a final thing, this is a little bonus, right? So with the quick fix call, it needs to be niched. I'm just doing a little summary. It needs to be niched. It needs to be in demand. It needs to be generative in value. To achieve that, you have to research your own product and outline the processes. Choose a really powerful process that you can help someone solve a problem today in half an hour with that call, and create that call. And then promote it using straight to market promotion methods, launchable copywriting, or and BAFE marketing methods. Now, once you've got that, here's another thing. You could get into ChatGPT, which I would love to spend way more time on, as we opened up in the comments. But before I give that last instruction, does that all make sense to everyone? Like, is that of any use to anyone? If you're watching on the Facebook, I'm going to interrupt now to say, follow the page, which is Cordelia Kate, Rebellious Business Coach. I'm not Cordelia. I am Cordelia's business partner. She is on holiday, loving life at the moment. So she should. She doesn't get very much time off because she is a very hardworking lady. So like the page, follow it. We're trying to get our followers up. Thumbs up on the video as well. Comment it. The engagement really helps with the algorithm. If you're watching on the replay, hashtag replay. And if you are watching now, what was the question I asked earlier? Let's see if we got something. Yeah, I think I want to know what you do and what of your coaching processes. Like, what is a really effective process? And then how do you turn that into a package or a 30-minute solution? So once you've gone through all this, I know this is quite jam-packed. I use ChatGPT for everything. And when ChatGPT, actually, to be fair, firstly, it was Conversion AI that came out, which then was shortly renamed to Jarvis, which was then renamed to Jasper because of copyright issues. Don't know why you need that whole history. But Conversion AI came out and it was copywriting AI. And when I used it, I was like, oh my Lord, I'm out of a job. I am out of a job. Why is anyone ever going to hire me again? You know, everyone's saying like AI is going to steal your jobs. I did not think copywriting would be the one that would be stolen. However, it won't, because I get the best outputs out of ChatGPT. I realized this very quickly and my anxiety was eased. I use both Jarvis, it's Jasper now, sorry, Jasper and ChatGPT. It's garbage in, garbage out. All of my first outputs, when I take, hey, write this for me, it always writes garbage. It's okay but it's really not refined. It's really not specialist. That's the main thing as well. It's really not specialist. It will use all the words I hate, skyrocket your sales, wow your clients. It's like, no, I need to have meaning, I need to have substance. So you need to put substance in to get substance out. Actually, I think Evie, who's on the call, experienced this. Evie is one of our rebels in the Rebellious Entrepreneurs Academy. We worked on her tribe funnel the other day. There she is. And I think Evie can, I think it was you, Evie, and I like really wrote in detail into ChatGPT, and the outputs were really, really specific and detailed, and they sounded exactly how you wanted to sound like them. I'm glad she's nodding. I don't think it's being shared onto the Facebook, but I love a compliant nod. It's like, yeah, it's like she's been forced. Like we had this conversation beforehand. Nod when I tell you to. It's like, yes, here's my key. No, she really was. I really helped get a message out. That's from detail. Now, here's the thing. Here's just a little thing. You put a thing into ChatGPT and it puts something out, and you add detail, and it sometimes forgets detail. So that's just a little side thing. When you put the detail in, remind it of the detail. But the important thing is detail, specificity, and substance is what produces valuable outputs, right? That is it. Honestly, that is it. And what I found as well here, I should really do another call on this. Oh, interesting. ChatGPT skills is something I definitely need to improve. I totally reworded that, but same thing. So I don't get the crappy over the top stuff. Yeah, precisely. Interestingly enough, you can just write back saying stop being crappy and over the top, and it actually does that. But the thing is, the over the top thing isn't the issue. What you will find is when you put stuff into ChatGPT, you'll find there's no substance there. That's the real issue. The tone of voice is the last thing you need to be working on. Like I hate the word skyrocket, but I will take skyrocket in copy if the substance and detail are there. If it captures what I need it to capture, I'm happy for it. But once you've gone through this process, put all of it into ChatGPT and ask it to write whatever post you want. It will produce stuff that's way better. Then what you're going to do, and here's for Lynn saying that that it's crappy and over the top. Here's what you do. Is once you put all the detail in and you provide it what it wanted, you want to look for the detail first. If it's got the detail, don't worry about the tone. Detail, relevance, right? What you do once it's done that is you write underneath it, rewrite that, keep the context, the detail, the substance, but in a tone that is like this. And it'll keep hold of the essence of the message, and it will reproduce it in a better tone. So that's another point. But the final thing I wanted to say is this. Once you've got your distilled quick fix call, you can also put it into ChatGPT and say, help me analyze this, because I want to get people to book this. Help me improve this if you can. And it might help you. Ask me questions if needed. Firstly, as one step. The next thing is, that's all you should be selling. That's all you should be promoting. All your promotions should come back to this quick fix always. And you want to keep going at that for ages. And you can test different messages and whatever, but always bring it back to this quick fix. And then if you then what happens is you're not strategizing new content to write every single day. But like if you go into ChatGPT, say, I want people to book this call. Help me come up with content to just specifically drive people to this call. Here's the value of it. Here's the substance of it. Here's what the purpose of it is going to lead to. What I hope is a sale. Help me generate content relevant for this audience to inspire them to book this call. Everything will be around that. So that is messaging strategy. So what we've got down here is a call on how to refine your message. The way you do that is by crystallizing your substance. That's it. How for a coach, you distill that into a 30-minute quick fix call. And then you put all of that substance and all that detail into ChatGPT and just tell it to create content using that substance to book for those calls to book. And so the quick fix high value call becomes your messaging strategy. essentially, as a base. There's a lot more to it, but that's a really good way to get started. Oh, Jesus, Jennifer, stop it. Oh, I've gone red. Okay, well, that was apparently pretty popular then. I'm now going to ruin it because you throw me off. We got 64 people on the call apparently, not watching on Facebook. I don't know what the I think the oh well. Anyway, so there was I don't know if I've got super amount of time. What was the question? Oh, Doug, are you waving? Are you waving because you're saying goodbye, or are you waving because you have a question? Oh, you're bye. All right, bye. Thanks for exiting with a bang. Okay, so I had a question. Brendan Musso. Okay, I like that. Brendan Lucero had a good way of thinking about niche. It's when a prospect says, yes, that's exactly me. Yeah, that's good. Where was that question I saw? Lynn, I'm starting to think of what could be a quick fix in my field. I'm 40, fitness coach for women, and I help women get started with weight training. Oh, I think there's replies. What is stopping them from starting? They don't really know what to do, or exercises, how heavy, how many EC. So maybe let's find your first 3 exercises. Yeah, that's good, right? Are you on a treadmill, Lynn? This is commitment. Is this a desk treadmill? Can we get you forward, Jennifer? Are we able to?
It's a walk pad.
Spotlight. I love this. I need to showcase Lynn, who's exercising while on the call. Oh, this is amazing. This is good. This is good promotion for you. We've got 75. Woo! Have a look. 75 people watching us on our Facebook at the moment. I don't know if it's working, but Lynn, oh God, I can't say your surname. I am sorry. How do we do that? Jennifer, are you able to hear me? You hear me all right? Yeah, okay. Can we spotlight Lynn? I'm going to get her on as a little quick hot seat. We're going to do a quick hot seat, and then I'm going to wrap the call up. And have we got any questions or anything on the chat or anything on the Facebook, Jennifer? I'm giving her too many things to do. Okie dokie. Right. Oh my goodness, 89. I'm going to stop looking now. So Lynn, before Jennifer, oh right, we've got you now. You're giant. Can you spotlight me as well, Jennifer? Oh, she's gone slower now. You've slowed it down, haven't you, Jen?
Yeah.
No, Lynn.
No, I slowed it
back
down
on
because...
fast pace. The best thinking comes when you're working hard, when you're working out. All right. Can I hear you? Are you speaking?
I can, yeah, testing.
Oh, no, is it my sound that's not working? Can everyone else hear Lynn? Oh Lord, I can't hear Lynn. Why is that going on? Try now.
Hello?
Yes, I got you, finally. Okay. Right.
Good.
I figured out the problem with the sound. So, Lynn, let's do a quick hot seat session just for, have you got time? Because I know we're at the top of the hour. Okay, perfect. So we're just gonna quickly, I'm just gonna do it's not gonna be substantial because this usually takes me an hour. But 40, I am a 40 fitness coach. So just explain to me quickly what your package is, if you've got one.
Yeah, so I actually have a few different offers. The biggest one is a group program where I get a whole bunch of women together for 10 weeks and teach them how to start weight training. So I have videos that are in a learning platform, and then I give them a program, so the exercises that they need to do. Then we have a Facebook group, and there we have weekly Q&As, and then they can also contact me whenever they want with any issues that they might have. So that's like my biggest thing. And then I also have these self-study courses. So you buy it and you do it yourself, because there are some women who are just like, Yeah, they're very motivated to do it on their own. They just need some guidance. So that's got training videos and a program in there.
So what, just out of interest, because it sounds like there's quite a lot, do you need to get more people on discovery calls? Is that a thing you're struggling with?
Yes. Well,
yes.
Yeah, I mean, well, right now I'm struggling to get those sold. And okay, it might be a product market fit a little bit. I have a fairly large audience because I have a podcast, which has been doing really well. So over 1,000 downloads a week of that.
Amazing.
And still, yeah. So yeah, I don't know where the sticking point is, but
for the sake of this, we'll presume it's the quick fix issue.
Yes.
For the sake of this, but there might be more stuff going on there.
And I guess
what I will do actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
And I also do one-to-one coaching, but less of it because of the time constraints.
Yeah.
So that's where really the quick fix would be, to feed into that. People that want to work one-to-one with me for, a half a year or something on some kind of goal.
Okay. Yes, I understand that. What I'm going to do is, Jennifer, do you also have a link to what I said? We're going to be we're offering out strategy sessions with Cordelia to map out. We offer the copywriting coaching and the marketing coaching as well. This isn't necessarily just you, Lynn, but we're taking on new clients at the moment. So if you want to have a strategy session with Cordelia, we're going to leave a link in the chat right now, and we're also going to leave one on the Facebook in case you would like to book a call with us and talk to us about working with us. If you would like to figure out a way to get more people into your programs, if you'd like to learn some what we like to call straight to marketing methods, you want to understand more about our tribe funnels programs, and also the launchable copywriting training as well. We've got a lot on at the moment. So yeah, there's a I forgot that's the one. It's rebelliousbusiness.com/call. So if anyone wants to book that call with us, then we'd love to hear from you. Okay, and so wanted to do that because obviously we're now running over time. So there's a bit of shameless promotion there. Lynn, so what is your let's pick one. Let's focus on the one-to-one program for now. What outcome? And you've done one-to-ones with people, I assume.
Yes.
What is the transformation that you provide?
So it's essentially getting them from being not weight training to weight training, or I guess maybe a better way to describe it is that women train a certain way. We've been taught our whole lives to train a certain way. And then you hit perimenopause and menopause and your body changes. And then you actually need to change how you're training. And weight training is one of the key components you need to add in. That's why I have such an emphasis on it. But then there are other things like eating more protein and what kind of cardio you do and all these things. So it's like getting you from training like a younger adult to training, for this phase of your life.
So they are training already. You're not getting them from the couch to 5K, for example. It's like,
yeah, well, I mean, I have to say that the clients that I've had so far have been people who haven't really done much, even though my ideal client would be somebody like myself who has worked out her whole life and just didn't really get that you need to be doing it differently in midlife.
Okay, I would recommend you stick with who you've worked with, because a lot of the time I always recommend this, right? The niche, your market decides, we don't decide. This is why I don't really like the advice out there, which is about like picking a niche or whatever. I don't really think you get that luxury. Personally, this is my philosophy. So just in sake of this as well, I am gonna pigeonhole you to like the people have spoken, Lynn.
Okay.
And they, as it stands at the moment, this doesn't apply to everything, it's just for the exercise. They are non-exercisers who are now wanting to weight train in the middle stage of their life. Why do they want to make that change now?
they're noticing changes in their bodies and that they're not so strong anymore. They might be noticing that their parents or, aunts and that kind of thing are weaker. They're like starting to get worried about the future and how their bodies are going to be there to serve them in the future.
What's stopping them? Actually, John asked this question. What's stopping them from getting started?
They don't really know what to do. I mean, if you think about like walking into a weight room, all this equipment, which exercises, how heavy should I lift? How do I train my whole body? I don't want to hurt myself. All the things. I mean, they really are like, it's in a different world.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That's really specific there. So what about so is it are they confused or overwhelmed or both?
I think confused and just like they have no idea, what to do. Like if you've never been on a boat and you're suddenly put on a boat, you're like, okay, do I hold on? How do I walk? How do I do things here? Yeah.
So the quick fix, this is quite a simple one actually. A quick fix you can offer is in terms of getting them doing an exercise that will benefit them kind of really well right away. Would that make sense? Like taking out that confusion.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could be one way to get them started. So I actually recently published just, a couple of exercises that you could do just in 10 minutes at home, just to get you going without any weights or whatever. Because if you are at the point where you've done nothing, even these are gonna like start strengthening you and kind of prepare you for the next step. So yeah.
Okay. So would this be a reason? This seems to be, and so have you already created the resources for those at home getting started exercises?
Yeah, I have a video for that where I go through.
Okay. So what I would recommend for you as a quick fix is actually very simple if you've got the resources. A little bit more difficult and requires a bit more strategizing if you haven't. Is the problem that you're solving would be like if you're overwhelmed and confused about exercising and going to the gym, but you notice these changes happening in your body when you're entering when you're in perimenopause or menopause, then you need to approach exercise the right way. And what we're going to do on this call is we're going to we're going to figure out what is the best way to get you started in like a simple way as a start. What you would do on the call is you would ask them questions, figure out about who they are, blah, blah, blah. And you would recommend, say, okay, based on what you're telling me, my recommendation for you is these exercises. So this is a really good example. And bear in mind as well, this is just a very quick demonstration because this might not fit with you, but as a quick demonstration, you would create your marketing, your promotion, at the front end to attract people who are right for those at-home exercises. And the call would be, we're going to establish what's the right way for you to get started, which will almost always be these at-home exercises.
Okay.
So then the call is you building a relationship and building rapport, but then you say, okay, these will get you started. How confident do you feel about, let's say, the other things, sticking to them, moving up, developing, actually achieving your health goals? Because then you can say, I've understood your health goals. These will help you get started. They won't help you achieve your health goals. So the quick fix you're offering is finding them the resources they need to get started at home. You present them those resources. So you are providing that quick fix and you've already got them there.
Yeah.
But then here's the thing, which I probably didn't say on the call. The quick fix always falls short. Yeah. People want a quick fix, but it's never enough. If it was, you wouldn't be on a treadmill right now. Right? Like a quick fix is never enough. You need if you really want to make changes, you need like consistency, you need effort, you need to learn new things, you need to change things. Transformation takes time. So the quick fix, not only does it showcase your value and build that relationship while you're on the call with them, it also highlights its own inadequacy. It only provides a quick fix, which is never going to be enough. And they're most likely not going to stick to it. People don't stick to just a program they're just given. They will know that. So that would be how I would create a quick fix for you if we were funneling them in that way as a starting point.
Yeah, I like that. And especially because it'll get them a little bit started. And if they do get a little bit started, then they'll be like, okay, after a while, what's next? Right. And then
right, exactly.
What's next?
yeah, exactly. And you've built that relationship with them on the phone. And what would also be really cool, what would be really useful is for you to then get them into, I suppose your Facebook group is for clients, isn't it? It's not for.
Yeah, just with the clients.
Yeah, you do. Maybe if you've got an email list or some way of keeping hold of them, you'd want to keep them in your system, essentially. But yeah, that would be how I'd recommend a strategy, a quick fix strategy.
Okay,
amazing.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, so let me just quickly. Oh gosh, my RAM is running out. Jennifer, can we go back to my big old face? Do you want to join me?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Right, see if I can undo this.
Oh my goodness, we've got 93 people on the live. Wow, okay. Wasn't expecting that. I love this. We've got good influence.
Caroline, can I just say, you've got 100 people. 100 people.
Woohoo! Oh my god, that's crazy. It's making me hot. I don't have time, but what I will do is now, how cool is this? We can save these chats on Zoom. So I will see if we can create some content out of the questions that are asked on Zoom. And if you are following us on the Facebook page, then I will tag you. This is an attempt. We are so busy with stuff, so I will try that. But we can keep now the chats from Zoom. So yeah, hopefully we can create some content out of that, because we really don't have time today because we were 11 minutes over. Thanks everyone. Jennifer,